Hi everyone, this is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. If you are not 18 years or older, this video content is not intended for you. I have a project share. If you saw my previous video, I shared that Scrapdiva Designs or Erica invited me to be a guest designer for this month, and I did get her package and I did an unboxing. I will link that video below. And I've been playing, and I've played with several of her dies already, and I have a project share that I want to share with you. Today I want to share, although I do have some others already done, I'm going to share them one at a time, in individual videos. So today I played with the file folder, and today I actually did. I just finished creating this, but I loved it, and I want to share it, so I skipped my first project so I could share this one. This particular set, there's, the way she designed it is her way of putting it together. So I don't want to say there's not a right way or a wrong way to put it, but in reality, there's not a wrong or a right way to do it. You can put this thing together any way you want and it'll work. Because I didn't do it exactly like some of the other ladies used it, and it works. So I'm going to share with you what I created. This particular die is perfect for someone who likes to make mini albums, or those, what do you call those? Folios. If you like to make folios, this is a good die for you to have in your stash. This comes with 26 dies. So you get a lot of metal here. So you get if you look at these, you're kind of trying to figure out, okay, why do we have two of the same? They're not exactly the same. The die right here, this one on this side, has the tabs on the outside. This one here has 3 tabs, one at the bottom and 2 on the sides, which you can use it. You can make it as a flip and cut off the tabs or glue them down and just glue the bottom portion and use it as a flip tab, or you can use it as a pocket by folding in the score lines, and that creates a pocket. So there's several ways to use it. This one right here is one of those little peekaboo windows that doesn't cut out completely, and then she gives you the layering piece for that. So that's really nice. And then she gives you, because this is called the file folder mini album. So she gives you the word memories, but she also gives you the silhouette to it. So it's perfect because you get the shadow and the words cut out. And then she gives you 3 different styles in swing tabs to, like, if you want to close this window, you would use one of these swing tabs on a brad and you would just swivel it. So that's how you use these. You get 2 hearts. One is slightly bigger than the other. The same thing with these, but then with the hands, you get a right and a left. So I really like that. And then you get, for the main die that you use to create your folder, you get a layering piece for that. And then for this one that's like a pocket, you also get the stitch layering die for that one. And then you get tabs to make little folders or different individual dividers, which I really like that. You also get these pocket, these create a slot to make a pocket. So these are really nice. And then you get 4 more that are decorative. And then you get 2 lacy corners as well. So this is a really, really nice set. Maybe I should turn it this way so y'all can see all of it. But you get all these dies, and I did play with them. I used them a little bit different than the other. I only saw one lady use it, to be quite honest. So I'm hoping that you like what I created. Of course, my choice of papers are very different. I personally don't do, I do a little bit of whimsical, and I don't really do the Maggie Holmes stuff or the Heidi Swap. That's not my thing. Not that it's bad, it's just not my thing. So this is going to be a new twist on using this die, but also in a different style. So I hope that you like what I created. I will link this die in the description box, but I will also link all the dies that I was sent, because I'm going to be playing with all of them. And if you're going to be following along with me, that way you have the list of what I'm going to be creating with. And remember that if you use any of the links that I provide for Scrapdiva, those are affiliate links, which means I will make a small commission if you were to purchase items using those links. And I really appreciate it when you guys do that, because any of the ladies who add links and all of that, we have to do homework for that, and we sit at our computers for quite a while adding those links in. I also have a coupon code, which is C2C10. The letter C is in cat, the number 2, C again as in cat, and the number 10. And that by using that code, you get 10% off. So anyway, without further ado, let me share what I created. So like I said, this is a must-have for someone who creates folios, someone who does journaling or likes to create journals, or someone who does mini albums. You can get a lot of uses out of these dies. So here is my little folio mini album. You know, this would make a great brag book for our grandma. So, you know, we love our grandbabies. This is what I created, and I just tied it with just a simple, very thin, maybe 1/8 of an inch ribbon that matched the colors that I was using in the paper. The way I did that closure, I trapped the ribbon in between my back layer right here. Guys, I really love the way this came out. Here is that die that says memories. I bent it right there. Oh, I need to put a little bling right there. Anyway, the M is separate from the rest of the word, and then you do get the silhouette for it. So all you have to do, or for mine, is just untie it from there, and this blue matches perfectly with what's going on in the paper. And when you first open it up, the first thing I did was create a pocket, because I knew that I wanted something where someone could stick photos, or let's say you went to a concert and you want to save all that ephemera, like your ticket stubs and all of that, and you have photos of an event that you went to. I wanted it to have pockets where you could stick that in. So I created some tags. This die does not have tags, so I just used a tag die that I had in my stash. But when I take it out, you don't even see the pockets. What I used to create that pocket was this die right here with the stitching on it. And instead of using it straight across as it was intended, I used it at an angle, and I made sure that it didn't reach the ends of my paper, because I didn't want to cut all the way through. I just wanted a slot to create a pocket. And then I moved it up some more, and I cut another one. So in this side, I have 2 pockets. And then I just slide my tags in there. So there are my pockets. On this side, I wanted to create an area where you could put a photo. Sometimes we have those photos that are landscape instead of portrait. So you could tuck a photo in the corner. And for that, I used the corner dies that came in here. And let me take this tag out, so you can see that these are not glued down completely. So you can tuck a photo in there and it would hold it in place. So that's what I did there. Now, when I open this flap up, so I've got plenty of flaps and pockets in here. Mine's pretty chunky, and to be quite honest, I needed a gusset. And there is a way to create this and have a small gusset. And I will hopefully demonstrate it for you. I won't put it together, but I'll cut a couple out and show you how to do that. Right here, I added another pocket out of some cream or ivory pearl paper, and I made little pockets as well. So I just tucked these little tags in here, but it is a pocket by just using one of the dies that is intended to create maybe tabs on file folders and stuff, decorative tags, pocket tabs. and I just used it because the paper was longer, so it was going to cut, but it wasn't going to cut it out completely. So that's where I use that. And let me remove this. And then there's another pocket right here as well. And this was a little mistake that I did, but I love the way it looks. It's decorative. So I just kind of left it there, and I really like the way that looks. And I will tuck this back in. If you had a photo, you could definitely tuck it in there. And here is my other tags. Now, if you notice, remember I told you sometimes you have those pictures that are landscape? That's what these 2 pages are for. So I put 2 of the corners on top and 2 of the corners in this back panel. But if you notice, this picture is this image is one whole thing. I just split it in half and put one down here and one up here. So the first thing you see when you flip this open is the other half to this panel. And I love the way that looks. Now, if I close this, this is just for photos, these 2. Because it was getting too bulky, you guys. Because I like to add pockets and tags and you name it. So if I close this up and I open this up, then you get these 2 pockets that have the ribbon that's on the designer paper here. Again, I did the same thing with the pockets. I did the pocket. Right here I only put 1 because this is more like a journaling spot. But I still wanted to be able to tuck, you know, for someone to be able to tuck something in there. So that's what I did there. But not only is it that, a pocket there, it is also a pocket up here. And I forgot that I made a pocket up here and didn't put a tag in it. But you can definitely, and I'll go back and make a tag for that for sure. But you can add a tag in there. So let me put this back in. So I have plenty of tags here. Now these tags are not glued all the way to the top, so you could slip a photo in there and it would hold it nice and snug there. So this is more for pictures. Now, so I love the way you can see the reverse of the ribbon on the ends. And this beautiful image, I put it in the center again with the photo corners that are included. So you could definitely tuck a picture in here and cover her up if you would want to. I don't know if I would want to, but hey, I know my grandbabies would go here instead of her. So this one is the one that I said that was like a pocket, and you could just either glue down the tabs or cut them off and leave the one that was at the bottom or top, however you want to look at it, and you could make it just a flip. So this one I made it into a flip. Again, there's room for journaling up here, and I did add photo corners where you could tuck photos or memorabilia, whatever you wanted to put in there, you could tuck in there. Let me slant this. I like things slanted. I don't know why, but I like it slanted like that. In the center, again, I did 2 pockets. I told you mine was getting chunky because I added some of these banners. These are actually not banners. She calls them wavy tags. Lacy wavy tags is what they're called. Everything will be linked in the description box. I didn't glue these down because I like to add dimension, so I wasn't really going to use them yet, but I needed to put something in the pockets. So I'm going to pull these out because I want you to see something. When I take the tag out, you can barely see where the cut is. The reason for that is I saved the little piece that it cut out, and after I had glued my designer paper, I added a little bit of glue there, and I put the little piece, I glued it down. So when there's nothing in the pocket, you can barely see that that is a pocket, but it is a pocket. So there's one, and here's another one. I made 2 pockets. So I love the way that looks. Here it is all opened up, so you can get plenty of photos in this pocket. Let me turn it this way. Now, mine is really chunky, like really chunky, and I really needed a gusset. So I'm going to share with you how you can create a gusset for this. So all you do to close this up, just close this flap, and then you just close it in half and you tie it up. That's all I did there. I hope that you guys like what I created and that this gives you ideas. Let me share with you, because to be quite honest, see how this stays open? If I had had a gusset here, this wouldn't stay open. So I'm going to show you how to create a gusset. I'm going to use just a couple of scraps I have here, and I should have had them already cut out, and I didn't, but I'm not sure I can get two in here, but let me cut a couple out. That way I can share it with y'all. I believe it will work. I believe that it will work. You might have to add like a strip or something. Okay. I need one more. So there's one. I don't have enough left on this scrap to get another one. So let me grab another scrap, and hopefully I can make one more. I try not to have too many scraps, but sometimes I just do. You know what? I was looking for a scrap piece of paper, but you guys don't have time to waste while I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut a fresh piece, and I might use it anyway because I really like this, and I might create another one with a gusset. That way you guys know what I'm talking about, and you get to see what it looks like with a gusset. So let me move that. I have a bunch of scraps on my desk. So I have been a little off. My allergies have been acting up, but not too bad. So I still get to play. Okay, so I got my two pieces cut, and they do give you it does give you a score line. I hope you can see that score line right. Can you see the score line? There's a score line right there. If you wanted to create a gusset, I would not cut that score line. Let me fold it because I want you to see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to fold the score line. Let me find my bone folder. And I'm going to do that on both. That way my placement hopefully will be better. Not that it's always good, but maybe it'll be a little bit better. So what you're going to do, instead of cutting one of these, because it's got two ends and sometimes you don't need them. I don't cut them off, guys. I fold them in so I'll get a nice clean look. And let me see. I think I did that in this one. In this one right here, I didn't cut off that little tab. I folded it in and used it as part of my pocket. And see how clean the edge looks? Because I just folded it in and glued it down. I didn't do anything different. So I'm going to add a little piece of score tape here for the sake of this video, so it'll be nice and quick. But you have a very narrow edge right there, but it's just the right size for a little gusset for a folio. So I'm going to add a piece of score tape, a very narrow one. I got like an 1/8 inch score tape. And then I'm also going to add glue because I always use score tape and glue. Let me remove this, the carrier. And by doing this, yours will close without doing that number because you're going to leave it a little gusset. It's a very narrow one, but it's a gusset nonetheless. And that's all you really need for a folio. Okay, so I added some glue and I'm going to overlap them. So this one is going to go on top of this one. And actually, you know what? Let me line these up. How can I do it? Because I want to be straight. I want to be completely straight. And I'm not straight a lot of the times. Nope. I'm just going to go for it. I got it. I'm gonna line these up right here. No, I don't got it. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna have to go for it, and hopefully it'll be straight. So you want to line this up one on top of the other, and hopefully it will be straight. And once you put a designer paper on here, that's all you really need. I think I need glue in here. So that's all you're going to do. So when you close it, see how it gives you that little distance? So mine would close flat if I had done that. Now, when you look at that, it doesn't look even with the rest of that. You can camouflage that by just measuring the height of this and adding a little strip right there and one on the other side. And that's all you would have to do. So whenever you close this flap going in and this one going over, there's distance. There's enough room for it to close flat like that. You know, and I didn't measure it so I could tell you, but yeah, just cut a little strip that measures from the top all the way to the bottom, even with one of these panels, and just glue it on top. And there you go. You have that little gusset that you need in case you make yours chunky the way I did. Thanks for watching. I hope that this idea helps you. I hope that I explained it correctly. And I hope everyone is having a great day. God bless. Bye.